Oh, thanks, everyone. I have two announcements. First, we didn't use Easy Cater for this meeting, which is why the food never arrived. Also, and I just thought of this, effective immediately, everyone will be paid in wildly volatile cryptocurrency. You're all now billionaires. And now you're broke.
Bad ideas happen when there's no food for the meeting. So make sure it's on time and as ordered from more than 80,000 restaurants. Now, Easy Cater.
You're rich again. And now you're not.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The Trippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hip Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
We head to England. Darren Wood about to eat a bacon cheeseburger that he'd ordered from burger chain Byron and got it through a delivery service, Deliveroo, when then he spotted the matted hairs. When he complained to Deliveroo, he was refused a refund and was told by customer service, quote, "I'm sorry to hear you weren't happy with your order. However, I'm unable to afford a refund or credit as this is simply a matter of personal taste."
It's not a matter of
Please accept our apologies. Ted, real quick, I know Steve has seen the picture. That was in his bacon cheeseburger. This is not a tiny hair. This is not. This is a very large hair. Now, keep in mind, Deliveroo is, in fact, the delivery service of the person. He replied to Deliveroo and said, "I'm not sure having hair in your food is to anyone's taste, to be honest." The advisor replied, "I understand where you're coming from. As much as I'd like to give any compensation, I am unable to offer a refund in this instance."
You know how smooth they were. "Hey, man, I hear where you're coming from. Most people don't want big matted hairs in their cheeseburger. I'd love to help you, but I can't."
Since the picture began circulating online, Deliveroo has offered a statement. "We're very sorry, Darren, didn't get the experience, the amazing meal and service that our customers have come to know and expect." I love how they, not only do they give themselves, give you an apology, but they make sure to pat themselves on the back. It's like, "We're sorry that you fell down at one of the most beautiful vacation spots in all of the land that we personally own that you should come here right now to." Jesus Christ.
Somebody fell overboard on our amazingly large modern cruise ship
that offered the best 7-day vacations that money can buy. A spokesman for the actual hamburger chain said, "We're absolutely horrified to hear one of our customers found a hair in the food, and we want to offer our sincere apologies and, of course, investigate and offer a full refund." Our question, whether you wanted it or not, what ended up in your mouth? 844-999-HOLA.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, what happened to me, or what got in my mouth at least, I was working at this place here in Tequila, putting together tanker trucks and stuff like that. And we did a lot of different tanks that had to be cleaned off, or cleaned out, get the oil out of them and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, like propane and different trucks like that. So, we'd also get a lot of 55-gallon drums of different stuff. They did a lot of different things at this place. But there was one shipment of these 55-gallon drums of industrial fish oil.
Mm.
And there was one day it got kind of hot, and they were kind of looking a little bloated, so somebody cracked a few of the openings open. They kind of off and all that. Well, throughout the day, they kind of started oozing up and getting this real thick layer of kind of a gel on top, and it stunk real bad. Well, somebody was told to go ahead and pressure wash them off and get all that stuff down the drain. And I decided to come around the corner right as he shot off one of the barrels, and a thick chunk of this gel ended up right in my mouth.
Oh, my.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, man. One thing I've learned from this phone call, and if you can prove me wrong, please do, is the word ooze ever used in a positive context, right? Because we said it about moist, but like you said, a moist cake, you're like, all right, I'm in, right? No one likes the word, but it can be positive. But when he said ooze, I'm thinking to myself, we have this guy. All right, Ted, what do you got? You're going to make ooze not make the situation worse?
Yes.
All right.
You come to Ted's. We have a cheeseburger stuffed with cheese, and out oozes a melty warm center.
All right.
Okay, how about squirty? Or squirt?
Squirt, sure, man.
Could you put squirt on a menu?
Yes.
Yeah, vodka and squirt.
No, it's got to be a food.
You just say a squirt of something at the right. So I know nobody says
a squirt of mayo.
No, maybe not mayo. People like
a squirt of tartar. A squirt of tartar.
Reduction, right?
Yeah.
Say some crap like that.
A squirt of balsamic reduction.
I know that's not the best word.
What about a flavorful squirt of deliciousness in your mouth?
Wait, what about a squirt of ketchup, right?
Squirt of ketchup. People say that.
Right, squirt of ketchup, squirt of So, all right. So squirt can be used.
How about squirty? No, forget it. Whether you're
squirty cheese. They made melty positive, right? Jack in the Box. They won't say melted cheese. They say melty cheese. And I'm like, I don't know
But you could picture that. Like,
but if you
I don't know where
squirty cheese.
I think a squirt's just got to be what you put on top with just a squirt of.
What if it's like cheese that's inside of a pretzel or a hot dog, right?
Or in the crust.
Right, in the crust.
The
so
cheese
then you
will squirt in your mouth.
Well, you call
the hot cheese will squirt in your mouth.
Bite into the crust that's filled with squirty cheese. I mean,
I feel like it would ooze out of the crust. It doesn't squirt out of the crust.
Well, it depends. When it's hot, you say, hey, get a piping hot squirty cheese right there in the crust.
Squirt that hot lava all over your mouth and burn the roof of it. Whether you want it or not, what ended up in your mouth? 844-999-OLA.
See, I just had chills down my because I'm just thinking about something lava hot now.
Don't you know?
Squirty and lava hot. Hello, Nicole. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So speaking of the word squirt, I was 16 years old and we went on vacation. And my mom had a dog and my brother had a dog and they decided to like each other. Well, the mother dog used to be a breeder, so they thought she couldn't have any more puppies. I'm 16 years old, and I'm petting this dog on the belly, no problem, you know.
Ew, wait, man. Wait, you said she's so does she have those big, huge, long, awful-looking nipples?
She was pretty droopy when we got her because she was retired.
Droopy.
Is droopy ever used in a... We have droopy cheese on our pizza.
So handsome and droopy.
And so I'm petting her belly, and she has no problem with this. She's enjoying it, and she starts lactating. And me and my 16-year-old mind was like, poof! So I run to the ottoman in front of my mom, and I put the dog there, and I squeeze her little teat. And both in my eye and my mouth simultaneously, I get squirted in the face with hot dog milk. My mother, of course, laughs her butt off and ends up peeing on the couch.
What was your dog's name? What was your dog's name?
Squirty.
When they gave her to us, they had named her Bonet. We renamed her Monet.
Monet.
How they called her? Squirty nipples.
Monet milk.
Monet.
Does about it good.
Yeah, it was quite embarrassing.
What to the best of your memory and the best of your ability, what does dog milk taste like?
Well, it's not sweet.
Probably clear.
Yeah, but that doesn't 7-Up is clear, so is water. They taste very different, man.
Crisp and clean.
A very odd version of condensed milk.
Okay. Yeah. It probably tastes like an almond milk or something like a watery milk.
No,
it's like dog
not
nipple.
Sweet.
All right, Nicole, please do us a favor and hang up. Give us some phone dong.
Absolutely.
So I've never had anything I can remember that bad squirt in my mouth.
Squirty.
But when I was at Burning Man, right, I was carrying around my, what do you call it? The pack with the cooler in the back with the water.
Yeah.
Damn it. Anyhow, it's got the little Camelback. Thank you, Miles. So it's got the little nozzle on it, right? So you got to understand, like, that sand is like baby powder, right? So if it gets wet, it clumps up right? So it's nighttime. It's super dark outside our tent. I didn't realize that my mouthpiece had been laying in the dust. So when I put it in, it was like mud made of sand. And it was awful.
You're not alone. A comment came in earlier. The guy's situation was kind of like yours. He had a respirator on. It's hot, so he's sweating, but he's doing whatever you do in the house, but he got rat turds in the respirator. And the problem was he had so much sweat in there, he rehydrated them. So now it was just like a respirator full of just rat poop mud, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You thought you had a bad with
the one that freaked me out, I think that freaked my my mom out the most, just for a brief period of time that she figured out I wasn't going to die, was Ocean City, Maryland. I was probably 12 or 13 years old. They were handing out those necklaces like at a festival that glow in the dark.
Yeah.
I went to take mine off, and when I went to pull it off, the 2 ends just popped. But one of the 1 end shot open, and it went all over my eyes and my mouth and my nose, all that glow in the dark stuff.
That's not good.
Why? Who knows what that is?
I don't.
That's what happened, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That was do you remember the date?
It explains the rest.
Yes, exactly. And then from there, I couldn't read as well.
But seriously, that's why a lot of places are kind of banning glow sticks. What
is it? What is it?
That's the problem. I don't know if anybody's sure.
Well, I mean,
I've been around my entire life, and you go like,
all I know is everybody's always assured me like, you're fine, but everybody's like, you don't want that on you.
No, you don't.
And I remember I'm old enough.
It's glowing.
Like,
yeah,
it's glowing.
Going to the store, I don't remember if it's the 80s or whatever it was, but there was a box of Crayola crayons. Anyway, the big advertisement they put on the box, it said, and keep in mind, I'm done with elementary school. I'm not using crayons at this point. It says now non-toxic.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does that mean? Does that
they
mean
were
like
before?
when I was growing up? And that's when kids were eating crayons, you know?
Whether you want it or not, what ended up in your mouth? 844-999-OLA.
We had glue eaters.
Yeah, we had some glue eaters. I almost said his name. Hello, Noah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. Hey, guys. First time caller, long time listener. I'm calling in. Yeah, of course. So here we go. So basically, I'm 6 years old at the time. My oldest brother is 10. We're at our daycare before we got kicked out of it, and basically we're outside in the playground, and he has a bag of gummy worms, right? And at the time, I mean, gummy worms were my favorite candy, so obviously I got to get some of those.
At the time, yeah.
Yes, well, now as well. Yeah, still. And so I basically said, can I have one? And him being who he is, even though I love him, he told me, go ahead and close your eyes and open your mouth, which is not a great statement to listen to ever, probably. I went ahead and did that, and he picked up a caterpillar off the ground. And he put it in my mouth, and I actually crunched. Yeah, it was like fuzzy, and it moved around like still even after I bit down. So
was it squirty? Did it ooze or was it squirty?
A little bit of both, a squirt then a ooze, and it was actually I spit it out, and it was like yellow, like yellow goop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was real good.
Good time. Okay.
Yeah, goop.
Well, that worked out well.
Goop. Gwyneth Paltrow's website. Remember that.
Still the Cut Wheels ringing. Tell us with a shot of the day. Who sucks less is coming up. And your emails from the men's room at mensroomlive.com on the way next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, whether you wanted it or not, what ended up in your mouth? And here come those emails from the men's room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail.
Guys, when my daughter was about 3, I noticed something on the kitchen cupboard at about her height that looked like the runny red liquid that comes out of a ketchup bottle when you kind of first open it up. And I assumed that's exactly what it was. Didn't think much about it. Later that day, I noticed the same thing on the wall above my headboard, again about the same height as she would have been had she been standing on my bed. This time, however, I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I decided to stick my finger in it and lick it before I smelled it. Immediately, I knew that this was not ketchup and that it was some kind of bodily fluid. It wasn't until later, when my cat went walking by, that I noticed that he had a burst abscess on his head. Apparently, he had been in a fight sometime before that and had a wound which eventually became infected enough that it burst open, resulting in the fluid that I found and subsequently tasted. So I licked cat wound pus and blood mix.
Why?
Why
I know he said, but I'm just like, whatever possessed you to put your finger in there and taste it?
Why wouldn't you just get like a paper towel and whatever it is, just wipe it away?
Just reading them as they come in. Guys, spit from camels, llamas, and alpacas is a combo of bile, green, liquid diarrhea, and vomit, usually aimed at your face. Rule number 1, wear a hoodie. Rule number 2, when the alpaca makes eye contact, lays its ears back, and opens its mouth, do not open yours to yell, no! Did I mention the smell? Both diarrhea and stomach acid, but good news, it doesn't taste bad, warm and salty. Much gratitude.
That's
that
not
from
good news.
Paula.
That's not good news.
One time I borrowed my girlfriend's car and saw a half-full Red Bull in the cup holder. Took a swig and found out it was her ashtray. That from Mike. Guys, I think Ted Smith is on to something. I just started dating a guy, and the first time I went back to his place, I suddenly started to not feel very well. I proceeded to spend the rest of the evening going in and out of the bathroom with liquid coming out both ends, making all sorts of nasty noises. Apartment was very small, and so he heard everything. I was embarrassed, but he was completely cool about it, and we've been married for almost 4 years now. That from Emma, the official driver of the Ted Smith's party bus, who seems to think, Ted, if there's a bad situation involving vomit, you seem like
I'm just saying.
things are going to last.
She said both ends. That's more than vomit.
Yeah, like if it's
we call that shummet.
If it's that messy,
at that point,
if it's that messy and it's kind of early on, you still can't. Like maybe it's gonna be something.
If you could fight through puke, like puke's one thing, because when you first start dating someone, you probably go out more, so puking is a little more. But like diarrhea and Hershey squirts is entirely different, man. That's a different animal to tame.
Guys, when I didn't want to end up in my mouth, I got home from work about 9 and picked up one of my boyfriend's beer cans to throw it away. It was almost full, so I took a swig. It was warm, tasted different. I took another swig thinking it was just left out too long. He then turned after he noticed and yelled, "No!" He'd peed in that, and he didn't feel like walking to the bathroom when he was talking on a cord phone and forgot to throw it away. A cord phone.
I like his style.
That from Allison.
I told you one time when I used to be a dipper, my buddy Bernie, like I saw him taking a sip of my spitter, and it was just like, no,
no motion.
Don't do it, Bernie.
Oh, let's move on to the emails. Guys, my name is Daryl, and I'd like to wish my son Anthony a happy birthday with the Dirty Germans and Ozzy Ted talking about farm animals. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, all you know to know about farm animals is I put the F in farm animals.
Yeah, Ted here from Melbourne. Funny thing about farm animals, depends on where you live. For me, the crocodiles, wallabies, gators. Crocodiles, not gators.
You know, crocs.
Crocs. You know what? If it's a giant lizard, it probably lives here in Australia.
Dear Men's Room, can you please give me a couple shotgun blasts with Get and the Dirty Germans? That from the youth. Get! Get! Get!
Yeah, for your birthday, I want to treat you like an IKEA futon friend and screw you in the spare bedroom.
Yeah, I want to treat you like a piece of stuffed crust and ooze something out onto you.
Oh, squirty cheese.
Squirty cheese.
Hold the Cholas.
Oh,
Jesus.
oh.
Hit the wrong button.
Oh.
Hold the Cholas, please give my wife Monica a birthday shout out. Looks easy, but it's not. It's her dirty 30, and she really wants a batch of bitter batter baby butter. One of those birthday shout outs. Thanks, guys. That from Ben.
He's eating a muffin.
Just go with the muffin in your mouth, Mike.
Is it one of those terrible muffins that he eats?
Yes! I never get a request, do it.
Could you do a bitter baby batter butter?
With your dry ass muffin?
What kind of muffin are you eating in there?
My poppy seed muffin, man.
Is this the same one you were talking about earlier, or is this the second one you've had?
Oh, okay. It's the one.
All right, okay.
Easy. He's not eating two of these crazy muffins.
It's like, how many muffins do you eat today?
Doesn't want to
on this thing.
Doesn't want to fail a drug test.
The muffin man.
Muffin mouth.
Right? From Drury Lane.
Sure.
Betty bought her about some butter, but she said this butter bitter. If I put it in my batter, make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better. So it's better. Betty bought a bit of better butter so that she can make poppy seed muffins.
Mentions my beautiful wife Kelsey's 23. I know she would love some birthday wishes from the Dirty Germans and maybe a little Ozzy Ted. Thanks, guys. That from Craig.
Yeah, for your birthday, I'll be a veterinarian doing surgery on a donkey and get up in that ass.
Ted here from Melbourne. Your wife Kelsey, huh? 23? Know her well. She's crazier than a cockatoo.
How about 3?
4.
You know, down under, we just call it Aussie style. It involves a couple of your best mates.
Yeah.
Bitches on lay pipe for propane and natural gas. It's my 28th trip around the sun. I listen to your show every day. How about big old bong rip and the Dirty Germans, please, talking about laying pipe. Thanks a lot, guys. That from Josh.
Yeah, for your birthday, your ass will be the pipe fitter.
Yeah, laying pipe is very simple. Sometimes you just have to make sure the hole is big enough to take it.
Yeah.
I want to wish my hubby Damien and his power tool a happy 43rd birthday. Going to get a Suck It Up cupcake and some turtle wax. Thanks, guys. Been enjoying your show since the military transplanted us here 7 years ago. That from Jen.
So, suck it up, cupcake!
That's fun.
Hello, guys. This is my buddy Derek's 49th trip around the sun. Give him a shout-out today if you could. Please give him a big kid fish sandwich and some dirty German. Let him know how good of a big bus driver he is. Thanks, guys. That from Scott.
Fish challenge!
Yeah, if you are such a good bus driver, let's see if you can park your skin bus in my garage.
Yeah, it's weird being a bus driver. Reminds me of some people I know. It's a big bus, but it has to go through those giant tunnels, and there's lots of room.
Guys, today's my husband's 50th. He is an avid listener, and I would like to wish him the happiest of birthdays with an Alan Thicke, a Leroy Jenkins, and the Germans talking about how sexy he is. Thank you, guys. That from Marcia.
Uh-oh, look out.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, just hearing your name is so sexy. I'm already taking off my pants. I have Vaseline and tissues.
Yeah, he's so sexy. I can't wait for him to sit around and play with my raspberries.
Yeah, I'll treat his ass like a basketball with the Harlem Globetrotters and just spin it.
Taste test, raspberries or blackberries?
Yeah.
And finally, Ola Magnificent Men's Room,
like,
people.
Miles?
Yeah. I don't mind being 65 so much, but 66, that's on the downslide, and that's kind of frightening. However, considering the alternative, well, maybe that's not so bad. Just hearing you guys' voices singing the birthday song will make everything all the better, I'm sure. Thanks, guys. That from Cindy. All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Here. Why would CPS have talked to your parents, guys? I got left at home. Home Alone style as a toddler. We lived outside of Chicago at the time, and we were leaving for an overnight trip to the family friend's place in Iowa. Somehow, they left with 3 of their 4 children in tow while I was at home. Skip ahead an hour later when my mom realizes that it looks like it's going to rain and they forgot to pack jackets. My parents argue over whether to go back home to grab the jackets, and my mom eventually wins. They backtrack an hour for jackets, only to have my mom run into the house and see me waiting patiently on the couch. Is it time to go now? I asked dumbfounded. She said, yes, it's time to get in the car now. I have no memory of this, but apparently my dad was speechless the whole ride there. Also, I can confirm that Sauced and Spirits is, in fact, the best barbecue in Sacramento, California.
Okay.
That from Ryan.
Duly noted.
Listening on 98 Rock.
I mean, I don't want to be this person, but I mean, sometimes like that, like, can a parent just forget?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet, but I allow for the possibility.
Guys, so CPS, here you go. I've got a number. My brother hit me in the face with a rock. Legally blind in one eye now. Kids, don't throw rocks. Number 2, jumping off the roof of our home onto a trampoline, first and second stories. Neighbor called mom and ratted us out. Number 3, getting stuffed into a sleeping bag, hung in a closet, and being left there for 4 hours. So many other things I could list, but the one time that they did get called was when my brother hit my sister in the face with a hard ball playing home run derby. Broke her face, had to go to the hospital, huge black eye. This was on a Friday afternoon. Then he ended up with 2 black eyes from running into the fish tank on Saturday.
Jeez.
Other brother and me have cuts and bruises just from horsing around. We all get called into the principal's office on Monday in 2 different schools. Conference calls mom, dad, both schools, and CPS with 2 CPS workers at both schools. Kept asking if there was anything we needed to tell them. Blah, 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 blah. All 4 of us told them, no, here's what happened and how dumb we are. All the lovely armpit of Reno, Nevada. Not the last time cops or CPS gets called on us. Good thing we grew up in the 90s before YouTube and cell phones. I love the show. Thanks, guys. That from the lovely Ashley.
What a charming story.
Coming up, we will drink and toast with a shot of the day. Another round of profile that's on the way. But first,
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less.
hey, time once again for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Hill. Each and every week you bring us 3 stories from the news. They all, in fact, suck. But it's up to us to determine which of these 3 stories, in fact, suck the least. Now, if you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on who sucks less.
Yes, indeed. And as always, we have 3 contestants. This time we have a legislator in Minnesota who, like so many others right now, has been accused of inappropriate touching. It's just the person who accused him. Might shock you a little bit. We also have a man in Alaska who he admits to his wrongdoing, and in fact, he had his court case. You might be interested in how the judge chose to rule on this. I get a feeling. And finally, a former CNN political commentator. He stepped away from the network for a little while to deal with a little controversy of his own, let's just say, with a temporary ex-girlfriend. But let's start in Minnesota, where a Minnesota legislator, he ended his re-election bid amid accusations that he has been inappropriately touching someone, in this case, his daughter. And apparently for years, it'd be Republican State Representative Jim Knobloch. Now, he denies the allegations by his daughter. That would be Laura Knobloch. But she revealed in recent years there was both a probe and an effort to conceal the 8-term representative for his alleged behavior. So his 23-year-old daughter says that her 60-year-old father has touched, kissed, licked, bitten, and pinned her down dozens of times for over a decade, started when she was 9 years old. But a 2017 criminal investigation, it didn't lead to charges because, follow me on this, didn't lead to charges because Knobloch had not exposed himself or touched her beneath the clothing. So again, they agreed that he had in fact touched, kissed, licked, bitten, and pinned her down dozens of times, but he never exposed himself or touched her under her clothes. So it's all good. It's all good. But he did end his re-election bid. Now let's go to Anchorage, Alaska, where a man who strangled a woman unconscious on the side of the road, all while threatening to kill her and then masturbated on her, walked out of court with no future jail time under his belt. Apparently, the 34-year-old Justin Schneider, he was indicted on 4 felony charges, including kidnapping, assault, 1 misdemeanor count of offensive contact with fluids. I think we know what that means. But he ended up striking a plea deal with the state by pleading guilty to a single felony assault. That got him 2 years jail time with 1 year suspended. But then he also received credit for wearing an ankle bracelet while staying at home. So he's not going to even be labeled a sex offender because apparently the details of his crime don't meet the standard, which makes you wonder, what does one have to do in Alaska to be considered a sex offender? Well, anyway, after the victim woke up, he reportedly told her he wasn't really going to kill her. He just needed her to believe that so that he could reach fulfillment, if you will. But he got the slap on the wrist, and the assistant district attorney says, well, he lost his job, and basically that's a life sentence. Unemployment, a life sentence. And now let's go to the world of CNN. The guy's a former Trump aide from the 2016 campaign, but he since became a paid political commentator on CNN. Well, he's out of the news network. This in the wake of allegations that he slipped drugs to a woman who he'd impregnated, but he did this in a bid to terminate the pregnancy. All right, so court documents, they're just the latest, filed as part of an ongoing child custody dispute between this guy and the woman that he's involved with. But this time, there's a claim that apparently he impregnated the woman that he met at an Orlando strip club before slipping her an abortion pill. Now, she did lose the baby and almost her own life. She became pregnant while he was on the campaign trail. Anyway, he's denying this, but he's taking some time off from the network to go deal with this. So again, we have the legislator in Minnesota. He's been accused of inappropriately touching his daughter. The man in Alaska who strangled a woman unconscious, masturbated on her, but will not have to serve any jail time. So it's more the judge in this case than the guy. And the former CNN political commentator who apparently he did the reverse of why most people drug the ladies there. It wasn't to get her in bed. It was to abort the child that he had with her. Oh, man. This is the world you share.
This is
who sucks the least?
This is a tough one. All right, let's just read some of the comments so far. All right, if we go to Facebook, I'll leave the names out of this one. By God, help them all. Another one says the former CNN political commentator sucks the least. CNN guy definitely sucks the least, and in my opinion, number 2, which would be the man in Alaska that strangled the woman and did his thing, sucks the most. Another third, the former CNN political commentator sucks the least. The second is by far the worst. Jason says, wow, they all suck.
Yes, they do.
Rick says,
the amazing part about number 2 is...
in this case, the guy in Alaska, he chokes a woman unconscious, masturbates on her, but does not serve any jail time. Keep in mind, one of the reasons the judge said, he was sentenced to 2 years, which is already ridiculous. They suspended 1 year, and they gave him a year credit for wearing his ankle bracelet at home. Part of the reason the judge said he's not going to force this guy to go to jail, this is the judge saying it, I don't think it's something he'll do again.
Right, that's the crazy part.
Most murderers probably would not kill someone again.
Right, how the judge...
Right, that's
a horrible crime that happened, but then the judge, who's in his right mind, to go,
there's no punishment.
He probably won't do it again.
Yeah.
That's the craziest
Oh, don't
part.
worry. He did tell the guy, quote, this can never happen again.
Sure, right,
he told him, you can't do that again. Here's my thought on something like that.
Was this guy on the swim team?
If you need to do that to get where he needed to be, so to speak, I would almost guarantee he's going to do that again. There was no punishment for it.
Right,
there's no punishment for that, but by his own admission, he needed to choke her unconscious. She had to believe that he was going to kill her because that's what gets him sexually excited. And you don't think he's going to do that again?
Yeah, I think out of these 3, I don't know what the word is, bad ones, I guess only because it seems to, I don't know. I guess I'll go with the CNN guy sucking the least.
Yeah,
but all these stories have repercussions lasting for
it's all over
years on end.
It's not an easy game.
No, it is not.
Like the men's room on Facebook as the debate continues. Yes, there's more. They all suck, says Justin. And you can also follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live as Who Sucks Less will continue there. All right, coming up, we will drink and toast with a shot of the day, cleanse that out of our mouth, and come back with a return of Ask the Men's Room. That's coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the Men's Room.
All right. We got another round of profile that's coming up, and we will drink and toast, thank God, with the shot of the day. But first.
It's been said that there are no stupid questions. We disagree. Because you keep asking them. Will I ever find love? Why is the sky blue? Is that rash an STD? Is the world round? Is my mom a whore? Questions that need answers. And yes, we can help. This is Ask the Men's Room.
Oh, yeah. It's time once again for Ask the Men's Room. If you have anything you'd like to ask any of the members here in the Men's Room, just shoot us an email to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. I'll make the subject Ask the Men's Room, and away we go. All right, we'll start with this one. Hola, guys. Have you ever thought of or do you plan on releasing a Men's Room cider? I, along with a few of my guy friends, am gluten intolerant, allergic to beer, and feel like we're missing out on the Men's Room fun. Would love to see a Men's Room cider. Let me know what you think. That from E. Not a bad idea, E.
I'm not gluten intolerant, and I like ciders too. But I would also say to my gluten intolerant friends, maybe try a Men's Room original sausage.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Hey, look, man, I never thought of the idea of a cider, but I'm definitely not against it.
Yeah, I'm pro cider. Mm-hmm. I like that it's acceptable now to drink more cider as a man.
Yeah, when did that change? How many years ago? Because, 10 years ago, I drank cider. I
think it's the gluten, and then, like in Europe and stuff, like people just drink ciders.
Yeah, and we do a lot of things. We really want Men's Room Green. Real bad. So we can get real high. You know what I mean?
Feds messed it up, though.
Yeah, they really did.
That's
guys,
honestly it.
A couple questions for you. Now, every once in a while, Thrill is going to the next caller and yells, God damn it! What's going on?
Nothing. I have Tourette's. No, honestly, the way the phone system works, you have to funnel through this computer because, God forbid, you just use a phone, right? So, computers work the way computers work. I believe it at that. But it's more difficult, say, to answer the phone via the computer than it is with this thing called a phone.
It's just a natural reaction when something doesn't work.
Yeah, but it happens all the time.
Second question, guys, when you play the 7 words you can't say on the radio, can the people on the line hear the actual words or they hear the beeps? It depends. If you are a paid subscriber, you hear all the cuss words. If you're just listening to us on the radio, you just hear this.
Once again, Men's Room callers, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now back to the program.
This one says, hola guys, I'm a little behind on the podcast. Could you please share with me the AM Mexican radio stations that you guys were talking about that Miles loves? That would be amazing to check out. Love you guys so much. That from the lovely Ashley. Ashley, listen, it's not one particular station in general, but here's what I normally find typically in my travels. When you get in certain rural parts of the country, you're going to be able to find two things. Number one, you're going to be able to find maybe 1 or 2 FM country stations. Those will be your options on the FM side of the dial, right? But on the AM side of the dial, if you just hit seek or scan, inevitably you're going to come upon a wonderful AM Mexican radio station that you can jam to for many miles.
Jam, that's it.
You know, because
I don't think you have like a particular favorite.
No, it's just I mean, I have my favorite DJs, of course.
Well, sure,
dude. I mean, that I love, but no,
you can find some wild stuff scanning through.
Oh, no, you really can. I enjoy it quite a bit. All right, let's see here. I guess we have time for a couple of these ones.
It's time for Ask a Black Man.
Hola. This weekend, my mom, Katie, is going to a fantasy rock camp, and for reasons I can't explain, she decided to play the bass. I thought Steve could give her some pointers. Thanks, guys. That from James.
The only thing I can tell you, man, is just know that you own everything that's going on.
Okay. If you have a question for any of us here in the men's room, just shoot us an email to the men's room at mensroomlive.com. Make the subject Ask the Men's Room and ask the way. All right, Wobbin, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast 26-year-old Luke Anu, A-N-U, of someplace in Belgium I cannot pronounce. Now, Luke decided to run for his local city council, and as a candidate, he's been attempting to share his ideas with voters. And one of the most effective ways to share those ideas is, of course, through social media. And what better platform than Facebook? We found out in this country, apparently, it works swimmingly. Well, unfortunately, Facebook would not allow him to post because some of the words were, quote, against regulations of Facebook. It wasn't his message. He wasn't saying anything crazy. The problem, it was his name, because you see, Luke Anu only recently changed his last name to Anu because his actual last name is Anus, A-N-U-S, and therefore Facebook would not allow him to post any of his political ideas to their website. So he has since dropped the S. He is now Luke Anu, and now the algorithm is allowing him.
Yeah, it's still the butt of many jokes.
Oh, man, trust me, the news, it was just rife with all this stuff. Getting the tail end of this. But yeah, his name is Luke Anus.
There's a crack in the plan.
Yes, there was a crack in the plan, Ted. all that stuff. Luke Anus. And one of the beauties is, if you do find that article, they have an original political poster from him. And like anything, it's a picture of the candidate smiling, and under it in huge letters, it says anus.
Let anus work for you.
So we pour this booze and we drink booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
Let's get a contestant online for Profile This. We'll take caller 9 at 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.
All right, showtime. You ready?
Born ready.
Great. Did you bring the dongle?
What's a dongle?
Never mind. We'll just show them on your laptop.
I was supposed to bring my laptop?
Don't panic. You shared the presentation with me, right?
I forgot.
Well, if you log in, then we can...
My password. I was about to say I forgot my password.
You ordered the food through EasyCater, right?
Yes?
We'll be fine.
Food can make or break a presentation, so make sure you order at EasyCater.com. Individually packaged food delivered right on time. How? EasyCater.